It's Sunday. So you know what that means? That means we give you your weekly dose of Single Sunday. What can we be expecting? What's going to be going on? Well, let's dive in and get to work. We're going to start out right off the get-go with our flyer, because we only have one flyer that we have this week, and that is going to be Lobo #1. Story and art by Scotty Young. Story by Scotty Young. Art by Corona and Bellevue. I think that's how you end up saying it. And I'm assuming inks. This was actually a fun little thing that goes over with it. We ended up getting a background of, well, Lobo. And I'm strongly considering adding this over to the poll. But we're going to go 3 issues in before we end up deciding. Definitely something I'm going to end up grabbing issue 2 to be able to see if it's going to continue being on our flyers. Alright, so that covers our flyers that we have this week. That means we're going to immediately jump over into what is on the poll. And we have 4 books all together this week. We have 4 books that we ended up picking up that's on our poll list. Starting right off the get-go, what is a poll list? Well, a poll list is where you could go to your local comic book shop or your online comic book shop, tell them I want this book, and they'll pull that aside, and you can make sure that you end up picking up that issue that you're looking for. It's a great way for you to be able to get the books that you want, and it's a great way for the store to be able to have a guaranteed sale of that book because they know it's going to end up selling. Now, this is also a way to pre-order any books that you end up getting. So if there's something that you really, really like, grab a pre-order, make sure you end up getting it. So with that said, let's rank these bad boys. Coming in at number 4, it's going to be Mark Spector Moon Knight, issue number 2. Some more craziness is going inside here. I believe we ended up having a little bit more development that's coming on. And it was alright. We ended up having a nice little flow that came along with that. But for me, it was okay. I probably should have swapped the spots, but coming in at number 3 is Ultimate Wolverine, issue number 15. Issue number 15. Now, we're coming over to the end of this, I believe. And to be completely honest, it's very meh, but we ended up having some action that goes along with that. I'm sad to see the Ultimate Universe going, but honestly, it feels like it's time to be getting back over into it. So, we might as well stick in there and see how that ends up finishing off. However, number 2 is completely different, where we ended up having Captain America, issue number 8. Doom Shadow, part 3. So, Latveria is still wide open, and we ended up having Red Hulk, Captain America, and we ended up seeing a bunch of shenanigans that comes over with that. And honestly, this had a very good story that ended up adding over into it, and it is one of the more impactful stories that you can end up seeing. Definitely a pickup that we ended up having. It's from the mind of Chip Zdarsky, so you can end up expecting some good storytelling coming out of this. So the top book that we end up having this week is the book that ended up sticking with us the most. It's also one of those books, well, they made it automatically over to the poll list. So, yes, this is a number 1, and it's not in the flyers. Well, that's because the subject matter, and we already knew that we were automatically going to be picking it up. We're in for the long haul on this, and we can't wait to read it, and that is going to be Thundercats and Silverhawks number 1, Road to War. So this was definitely a series that I was really looking forward to. I didn't know much about Silverhawks, and I haven't read any of the ongoing stories that we ended up having with Silverhawks. But what I ended up doing is doing a deep dive where I watched every episode. That's right, all the 65 episodes of Silverhawks to be able to get a general gist of it. And the big thing is that you end up having You're pretty much your mainstays of Thundercats voice actors and stuff like that, and similar styles. But I had a hard time really dealing with that, but it was an okay series. So, for instance, in this situation, you got the person that voices, well, Lion-O, other one, who voices Lion-O here. Oh, I keep on going over with the one. Lion-O being the leader of the group, but they ended up deciding to switch over when it came over, and the person that voices Tigra becomes, I keep on saying Quicksilver, but I know that's not right. But either way, we ended up seeing the introduction that comes over with it, and if the previous episode or the previous issue ended up setting it up for this, and we are also seeing some stuff that's going on with the Thundercats Lost. So it's a big thing to be able to talk about, but I think I'm going to have to crack open that blind bag of Thundercats Lost in Time to be able to read that, because I strongly suggest you read that before you end up jumping into this. I don't think I lost anything, but I definitely feel like there was a missing link. The development is quite good, and as you know, on this channel, we're a big Thundercats fan, and well, this event that's going to be going over, you're going to have Thunderhawks, and we're going to obviously have Thundercats, and then we're going to have the war that's going over. This is an event that we're going to be wrapped right into, and this is something that we're going to definitely deeply cover. Once we get a few issues out, we'll be able to do like a refresh to be able to get back over and keep you guys well informed with this event. So that is your dose of Single Sundays. What did you think of them? What did you end up picking up that you ended up enjoying? Let us know down in the comments down below. And as always, thank you for watching. And until next time, we'll see you later.